CAPES offers a unique twist on the superhero genre by placing superheroes in the role of the underdog rebels fighting for freedom in a dark city controlled by supervillains. This is a turn-based superhero strategy game where the player builds a team of heroes and fights to take back the city. Hello guys, Genuine here of Genuine Gaming, and here is my review on CAPES, a superhero game developed by Spitfire Interactive and published by Daedalic Entertainment. I am not familiar with the developers and publishers. I played this game because I kind of like the premise of the game, but of course, since it is a turn-based game with superheroes, I just can't but play. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, and for more reviews, tips, and build guides, subscribe to the channel. Let's start with the story and presentation. CAPES is set in a fictional place called King City, where decades ago, supervillains were victorious in a battle against the heroes. Since then, they have used their superpowers to oppress and control the people of the city, and no one dares oppose them. The villains are scheming to enhance themselves through other superheroes, killing the heroes in the process, but at the same time making them more powerful. Now it is down to a small team of rebel superheroes to fight the supervillains and stop them from their evil plans. We are going to control a roster of superheroes to defeat these villains. The story isn't the sell for this game, as it is simple. The story gave some twists here and there, but they are predictable. The presentation is okay, as they made some simple in-game cinematics to put the game forward, but most of the time it is a comic-like drawing sequence where the heroes will simply talk without moving. I was fine with it since the voice acting was quite good compared to the other games. It is not of a high-quality voice acting, but a decent one. Just remember that this is not a AAA game, so we should not expect as much quality if it is developed by a AAA studio. Combat and gameplay. One thing I liked about this game is the gameplay. The character design is just varied in appearance, and every character just feels different from the other characters even if they have the same role in your party. Facet, who is a tank, can grow crystal shards to protect himself and others from enemy attacks. Weathervane also can play as a tank, but instead of protecting other heroes from attacks, he pushes enemies away so that the other heroes can run away from that enemy. Rebound, my favorite hero of mine in this game, is an attacker who teleports in and out of combat. Fire is another attacker, but he becomes deadly if he remains in place. All heroes' abilities are well balanced and they are pretty varied when applied. Their powers are not that too powerful, but the villains are powerful, and I can say very powerful, which is just right as they have mastered their powers for decades. However, it is not the individual powers that make our heroes powerful, but the team-up skills. When standing close enough to another hero, the other hero can add a unique ability to the existing power. Like Facet can add damage to Fire's barrage ability by adding crystals to his attacks. Weathervane can add push to other heroes' attacks, which is pretty useful when we try to push enemies through the ledges. Then we come to the hero's ultimate ability. We can power up these abilities by fulfilling some conditions, again different from other heroes. Rebound powers up by hitting enemies with a backstab, while Facet powers up his abilities by getting hit. These abilities are pretty useful in combat as they can change the tide of the game. Success in a mission gives each hero experience points, which they use to level up. They can also gain skill points if they can complete some optional mission objectives. Skill points are used to upgrade skills. Other upgrades are more useful than others. We just need to be careful about which skills to upgrade, as these skill points are not that easy to come by. Like the heroes, missions are not redundant. However, they also do not have the same level of difficulty. Some missions are very difficult to complete, others are not. I would not also say that this game is a walk in the park because I also encountered very hard missions which blocked my progress, forcing me to level up my heroes and upgrade their skills by completing the optional objectives in missions. CAPES allows us to repeat missions and still gain XP. However, we cannot get an extra skill points if we try to recomplete the optional objectives. We also cannot respect our heroes, so extra care is advised when assigning skill points to upgrade some abilities. Enemies are well designed and there is a good variety of them. They can range from weak to super elite. And they come in waves after waves and after waves. In some missions, it would also seem that they are endless. If you like tactical games, you will love the gameplay mechanics. I would describe this game as Marvel's Midnight Suns without the cards and the friendship simulation. If you haven't played Marvel's Midnight Suns, you can check in the description my review of the game. The advantage of this game is that it is cheap and there are no friendship shenanigans, which some people dislike in Midnight Suns. I play CAPES on my laptop with Ryzen 9, 32GB RAM, and RTX 3070. It plays out smoothly in my run-through. I only encountered one bug in which the enemy does not move. I simply reload the game and it works just fine. The game does not ask that much from your system. My genuine verdict: CAPES is a good game. It is not a game for all as it is a niche game. It is simply a tactical RPG. The story is not that amazing and the graphics is not that excellent, but there is something in CAPES that stood out for me. The sets of heroes of the game are pretty well thought of, as each would feel different from each other. There is also a lot of variety of enemies that you would not think the game as redundant. I just want to point out that there is not much replayability in this game. As you finish the game, there is nothing to go back unless you want to unlock all the upgrades and stuff. So after finishing the game, I rate it as story and presentation 8, combat and gameplay 9, graphics and optimization 9. I give this game 8.7 out of 10. I would highly recommend buying this game, especially if you like tactical RPG. And if you are those people who also played Marvel's Midnight Suns and had fun with it, I'd also highly recommend checking this out. The moves may not be as flashy as Marvel's Midnight Suns, but the gameplay is more or less that fun. So that's my review for CAPES, developed by Spitfire Interactive. If you want to play other games like this, check out my Marvel's Midnight Suns review. It features popular superheroes like Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and the like. This is developed by the makers of XCOM 1 and 2. See you in the video. Ciao!